Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. The accusation raised by former Governor of Plateau State, Jonah Jang, that Yochi Ayu helped Atiku Abubakar to emerge as the party's presidential candidate for the 2023 election at the expense of his opponents, including Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State during the primary election, is beginning to gain momentum in the media space. Wike having resolved not to support the Atiku campaign ahead of the 2023 election, except the party chairman, Dr. Yochi Ayu, resigns, has also vowed to remain in the People's Democratic Party, despite being at the center of the crisis, rocking the main opposition party. Joining us now on this show from Abuja studio is Umar Sani, former Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to former Vice President Namadi Sambo. Umar Sani, good morning, but before we come to you, we'll take this video quickly.
We must tell Nigerians the truth. When we tell Nigerians the truth, it is for Nigerians to take a decision of whatever they want to do. Because in this part of our country, lies can become the truth. When you allow people to continue to lie, and you have refused to state your own part of the story, those lies will turn to be the true story. It is not about Wike. It's not about Wike. We have finished presidential primary. It's over. There's nothing anybody can do about it. We have finished about the presidential candidate. It is over. There's nothing anybody can do about it. But something is important for the unity of this country, for the inclusivity of everybody. When you're not there, when decisions are being made, there's nothing you can do about it. And so from there, you must have to say, look, there's imbalance. Let's do it the way we have always done it. I'm ahead of them, very much ahead of them. There's no plot, they plot that I don't know in advance. Before they plot, I've got ahead. One thing I've always told people, if anybody is thinking, doing anything to think that will lead PDP, we will do the fight in the party there.
Joining us now on this show from Abuja studio is Umar Sani, former Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to former Vice President Namadi Sambo. Umar Sani, good morning. Good to have you on the morning show.
Dr. Abati, you didn't call me the usual.
Umar Sani the cat. It's good to see you again.
Correct.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Yeah. Well, we just want your take to start with on the crisis in the PDP. Now, Governor Wike and others have said they will not be part of the Presidential Campaign Council. But again, Governor Wike, speaking yesterday in Port Harcourt, said that they are going to fight from within the party. And you have been quoted as saying the call for the removal of the party chairman, while it may make sense, but that the timing is wrong. When is the best time to call for the removal of the party chairman by any aggrieved members of the party?
Well, you see, Dr. Abati, this is not the first time things like this have happened in the party. The PDP has a long history. In 2010, when President Goodluck Jonathan was the president of the country, and in 2011, when he was elected as the president, he came along with the national chairman of the party, who is Kweslezi Nwodo, as the national chairman. And at the same time, President Olusegun Obasanjo was the chairman of the BOT of the party. It is a tradition that once there is a transition, these type of things normally do happen. You have somebody from the same part of the country, from the same part of the yet. But when the transition is completed, then the next person, the correctness of the thing will be done. Then Ayu will have to leave. If Atiku becomes the president, Ayu will leave, and then somebody from the southern extraction will now become the national chairman of the party, and the new national convention will be held. But as it is now, the process is so cumbersome, so long, and the timing is not right. We are approaching elections, and there are 2 or 3 ways where somebody can be removed as a national chairman, as provided for by the PDP constitution. The first is that he can resign. Number 2, an allegation is placed before him, before the NEC, and then he is found wanting, and the NEC passes a vote of no confidence in him and removes him. And then, of course, the third, when his tenure expires. Now, if we have all these type of scenarios, and the issues, before the party, is that the wicked group is asking that Ayu must go because perhaps he has made a promise. That promise is what we have been hearing. I think it is not a promise between the party and the group. It is a promise perhaps done in honor binding, because if it is done within the party, the party will not go ahead, at the last NEC to say, okay, we have passed a vote of confidence on Ayu and that he should continue. So something is definitely not being told. But then, if we are talking about resignation, we have seen how our party chairman have, right from Solomon La up to Ayu, only 2 national chairmen resigned. And they were all prevailed upon to resign. You were in the villa with me, and you are aware of the removal of Bamanga Tukur. He was prevailed upon to resign, and the struggle. It took a long time, a lot of lobbying, even when we have a sitting president, for the party to get him, or for generally the party to get him to relinquish the position. Again, Adamu Azu, after the election, it took a long while. He left for Dubai. He was not in the country at that time. And so there was concerted efforts to get him to resign. It took a long process of lobbying before he finally decided to hand over his letter of resignation. So what more of somebody who is just, coming in? He has never had the experience of being a party chairman. He just came in with a new set of National Working Committee members completely, trying to navigate the party to success in 2023. As it is now, it is a difficult enterprise for him to resign and leave the party, because the constitution has been amended in 2017 to accommodate some certain key issues that makes it difficult, even if he resigns, for anybody from another side of the country to take over. For instance, we have 2 deputy national chairmen, one from the north and one from the south. You will remember that when Uche Secondos was taken to court, and the court, based on an ex parte order, said he should step aside, the next person that came in was from the southern part of the country to take over from him. So it is the same situation that will happen if Ayu resigns, unless a national convention is held. Because before even that arrangement was made, there was a zoning committee which was headed by the Enugu State Governor, Ogwayi, the Buruburu, that actually zoned these positions based on north and south. And so if these things are supposed to, if he has to resign, then the positions will also have to be swapped, and then a national convention will now have to be held to be able to elect somebody that will steer the affairs of the party. And I believe that the timing is very wrong, because as it is now, we are getting into the presidential and other campaigns. We cannot afford to wait and begin to do a national convention to change national chairman before we continue on our campaigns. It will be a tedious process. It will tell on the party. It will tell on the party's finances, and so forth and so on. And even our party faithfuls will now be put in a confusion, because they will be moving from one place to the other. Wherever the party convention, national convention is put, they move from one party to one place to the other, making it difficult for the party to, plan strategic plans towards our success in 2023.
Okay.
So I believe that the wicked group should be a little bit more patient.
Okay. I would like to ask you, Governor Wike did say that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar himself, when he came to visit him after the primaries, was the first to tell him that you must go. The Atiku camp has not been able to deny that. What do you say about that?
You see, there are certain things that you say in private that we don't know. We don't have any evidence to say he actually said it, or it is a matter between the two of them. If he says Atiku told him this, and Atiku at this point in time does not feel that he has to be contradicting Wike, further aggravating the matter, I think the best thing for him to do at this point in time is for him to be silent. And in this case, silence is golden.
Well, Governor Wike says he and his friends are fighting for unity, inclusivity, equity, and peace in the PDP. And he also said yesterday that he will mobilize the Rivers State Campaign Council of the PDP to make sure that the PDP wins every available seat in that state. Does that settle the matter? Because he didn't go as far as saying that he would deliver PDP, we will deliver Rivers State to the PDP. So is it possible for him to win at the state level and then play neutral when it comes to the party winning at the federal level? After all, he has said that he's not part of the campaign council.
Well, I think if I get him correctly, Governor Wike is only trying to say that I have some grievances with the party, and the party is yet to settle those grievances. And because of that, I don't want to be part and parcel of the campaign. But I will also do my best because I'm a PDP member, and I will ensure that the PDP does not lose. But nobody should attach my name to the Presidential Campaign Council. If he says he's going to ensure that the party wins all available seats in the state, it means that including the presidency, because the election of the president will be done on the same day with the election of the senators and on the same day with the election of the members of the House of Representatives. And so he cannot separate the three and say, okay, let me work for House of Reps, Senate, but I will not work for the president. So I believe that His Excellency Wike is merely trying to say, I have grievances. Settle these grievances so that I will be part and parcel of the victory. Or you refuse me settling this grievance, and then I will just stay aloof and be watching you, even though I will work for the victory of my party, but I should not be associated with Atiku campaign.
Well, a lot of people are still saying things are not well in the PDP. Now, in fact, the PDP is sinking because Governor Emmanuel Udom, when he spoke yesterday, he threw a subliminal message. He said that the reason for the crisis is that people are not walking their talk. So is the PDP fast becoming a party that doesn't walk its talk?
Well, I don't think anybody can be accused of not walking their talk. Taking a holistic look at the whole situation from the beginning. Most people have made promises which they have reneged upon. Even His Excellency Governor Wike, from the beginning, has said that he will never interfere in the primaries of Rivers State, that the people don't learn from history, and that the reason why governors, when they are elected, they always fight their predecessors is because of the interference of the incumbent. But again, most of the presidential aspirants have come out to accuse him of interference and in position of Fubara. So it's a general thing within the party, and we also have been calling on the party. For instance, most of our conventions are done on the strength of unity list. People are not allowed to canvass for votes and campaign, and then states will not be allowed to vote on the basis of their conscience. No, but a unity list will be crafted, and they will say every state must vote for this person for chairman, this one for secretary, this one for this one. And so there is no walking the talk generally. So it is not something that one can say it is some one person has this specific fault. It's a general fault within the party.
Okay, Sani the cat. There is a group in the PDP called the PDP Stakeholders for Justice. And they are saying that Dr. Yochi Ayu will be a hero, making sacrifice as the PDP begins its journey to the 2023 general election. If he could just, in the interest of peace, voluntarily resign, would that solve the problem? Do you think that the PDP Stakeholders for Justice have a point, or is just a front for Wike and his friends?
Well, I'm not aware of any group called that with that name, because in our party, before you are recognized as a group, you have to be registered if you are operating under PDP within the party. And I'm not aware I've seen any group of such nature within the registration of groups that form the PDP groups. But again, if they are making that decision, that maybe suggestion that anybody who if Ayu resigns at this point in time, he will be a hero. The point is the resignation is his entire issue. It is not anybody's issue. He has the right to resign or not to resign. Now, if he believes he will be a hero, then he can resign. And if he believes that he thinks by staying put is what will make him a hero, that is his own decision. However, his resignation will not solve anything, because if he resigns, the next person that will take over is the Deputy National Chairman North, which will still not solve the problem, because the agitation is that the seat of the National Chairman for equity, fairness, and justice should move to the South.
All right. I'd also like to ask, yesterday, Aredele Momodu was here, and he said he admits that there have been mistakes made. Who made more of the mistakes here?
Well, we can't really say, but both sides have really made mistakes. Apportioning the blame as to which side made more mistakes is a difficult thing for anybody to make. However, for instance, it is not proper for a national chairman, after a convention, to go and hug somebody who withdrew on behalf of somebody and call him the hero of democracy. That is not proper. It is, I am not in support of that, because it shows that youth who is supposed to be an umpire in the matter has already taken sides with one of the two sides. And then again, I know that Ayu is a member, is part of the founding fathers, because if you go to the G18 and G34, he is part of the G34 of the party. So he is a founding father of the party. But again, in politics, you can't, go in public glare and say that they are small children. That is also undermining them, and so they are naturally going to feel aggrieved. However, coming back to also Governor Wike, the party is greater than any individual or group of individuals. We are talking about the supremacy of the party. You cannot, every day go on podium in Port Harcourt and lambast every member of the party. He has made so many mistakes. He has strengthened the party. He has done so many things to undermine the party, and to say, even the 2019 convention, he said 2018, that if it is not taken to Port Harcourt, he will deal with the party. These are all mistakes both sides have made. And now, if both sides are making mistakes, it does not still translate to the fact that the matter cannot be resolved internally. It is not for public consumption. It is not something that cannot be resolved. We have enough elders within the party. We have enough respected persons within the party who can actually resolve this matter. And I think if this matter is, treated under closed doors, the matter will be amicably resolved and the party will move forward and clinch the seat in 2023.
Okay. There is a report out there today by the Economist Intelligence Unit. This is a season of predictions and permutations. Predicting that based on the analysis of the EIU published by the Economist magazine, that the candidate of the APC stands a better chance of winning the 2023 presidential election. The report categorically says the next president of Nigeria, succeeding President Buhari, would be Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And they also concluded in that report, the analysts, that the APC presidential candidate would not really be affected by the controversy over Muslim ticket. And that whereas they predicted Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as likely winner in 2019, that for 2023, his chances have been greatly reduced by the internal wrangling in the party, and also particularly by the growing popularity of Wike in the Southeast, South-South, which were traditionally PDP strongholds. What do you say about these permutations?
Well, you see, they still remain permutations. And if they made such predictions in 2019 and they were unsuccessful, the chances are that in 2023, their permutations will also be wrong. Perhaps what they didn't take into consideration, which I will now outlay, is the new trend. You see, the voting population generally in the country is now free of any encumbrance. And so there are shift in allegiance. There are shift in candidature. If the North Buhari had a traditional stronghold of the North with 12 million votes that he comes to the table with, this time around, Buhari is not on the ballot. So the North is now left as a virgin land for people to explore. And from all indications, Atiku stands a better chance of garnering more of the northern votes than any of the three presidential candidates. Again, the people are only looking at the problems within the PDP, and nobody is looking at the problems of the APC. For instance, just recently, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, summoned a meeting of all the presidential aspirants, and none of them attended. Everybody refused to come. But it didn't make so much headlines because it is not something that people come out to talk about or to shout. There was nobody from any of them that was coming to shout. Now, the issue of Wike's this is still not, it has not even permeated everywhere to the extent that it will destroy the party. And from all the issues laid on the ground, Wike is still talking about not leaving the party and working for the party. So I don't think that permutation has any inkling and has not taken into consideration all the wider perspectives of the country. And perhaps what they are forgetting in their permutation is that the PDP is gaining more grounds. For instance, we have now garnered one more state in the southwest, which is Osun State. And Osun State has given us that added advantage over our opponents. So I do not believe in any stretch of imagination that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am very confident that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in 2023 will be sworn in at the Eagle Square.
A lot of political watchers still say the reason for the problem was because the PDP decided to keep its presidential primary ticket open rather than zoning it to the south, as normally will be the case. Do you think the presence of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is one of the biggest problems now in the PDP because he got that ticket? No,
I think you see, most people are in their analysis, they want to take the whole country and forgetting that a political party exists. A political party exists and it has platforms. It gives platforms. Now, APC gave their platform to President Muhammad Buhari, who has now is about to complete his tenure. And in their own wisdom, they have decided to zone the presidency within their own party to the south, which Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the candidate. Now, the PDP also has a long period of tradition. From 1999 to date, the North has only been president within the PDP for only 2 years or a little bit above 2 years. Now, if the North has been, and in 16 years, you only did 2 years as president, you see, you have a sense of entitlement, believing that within that same party that you have given all your best, and you have been part and parcel of its success, you only were able to be accommodated for only 2.5 years or so. And so the quest for continuity to come and, seek for the mandate of the party is there within the North. So it's, if you talk about in 2015, Jonathan also contested for a second tenure, which he was not successful. He contested in 2011 and won, and then in 2015 he was also unsuccessful. Again, Atiku contested in 2019, he lost, and in 2023 perhaps he will be successful. So the quest is the platform, not the issue of where somebody comes from. And the party, in deciding that the matter should be left open, is because of these scenarios. 3 committees have worked on it. The Bala Mohammed committee was set up. It suggested that the matter should be left open. NEC did not decide on the matter. The Igwanyi committee came up with that, but the NEC said it is beyond its own powers. Their own is to zone party positions and not to talk about the federal positions. And then, of course, the Autumn committee. And all these committees, don't forget that Autumn is in support of Southern presidency. But as the chairman, he had to submit a report because the whole committee said no, that the matter should be left open. So, and the PDP decided that the matter should be left open. So leaving it open has nothing to do with anything. If there was a need for it to move anywhere, I think Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was the first person to say, okay, if you want this thing to be micro-zoned, zone it to the southeast, and I will withdraw. But did anybody agree to that? No.
Okay, one more thing. Earlier today on this program, we discussed the Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, saying that the PDP has no original economic blueprint, and that what the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar of the PDP has done is just to steal President Muhammadu Buhari's economic blueprint and package, the same things that the PDP had criticized as their own original ideas. So is it that the PDP is incapable of coming up with concrete issues, specific issues, about Nigeria's economy, instead of going to steal from the neighbor's drawer, as alleged, that is?
Well, Dr. Abati, it is very amusing and it's very laughable for APC to talk, or Lai Mohammed to talk about any economic blueprint. We are almost at the verge of the closure of the tenure of President Muhammad Buhari. And how has our economy fared for us to now begin to steal their own blueprint? First and foremost, every economic indices that ought to have been broken has been broken, and our economy is almost totally near collapse. Even to the third recession is around the corner. Again, Nigeria during the PDP was an investment destination. Now investors are running away from the country. Nigeria had the highest GDP. Everything economically in Nigeria was perfect during PDP. The exchange rate was good. The macro and the micro economy was perfect. And yet, somebody will now begin to talk about stealing your blueprint. Which blueprint do you have that is unable to transform the economy of Nigeria and that is plunging Nigeria into chaos? I think they are lacking in ideas, they are lacking in thoughts, and so they want to blame PDP for everything. It is their usual tradition to blame PDP. And so using this one to say we stole their blueprint is just a mockery of the performance of their government.
Well, thank you very much, Alhaji Umar Sani, for joining us on the morning show. We'll take a short break now, and when we return, we'll be talking to Akin Oshuntukun, Labour Party Southwest leader. Stay with us. We'll be right back.